I am joined by the fantastic Richard Walsh. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Thank you, Julian. Great to be here.
Awesome. Right, well, we're going to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then we're going to talk to Richard after that. Are you ready, Richard?
I'm ready as I can be.
As you can be. All right, first question for Richard. A paperclip in France is called what, since it resembles that of a musical instrument in shape? A trumpet, a violin, saxophone, or trombone. So what is the paperclip named after in France or France?
I'll have to go with trombone.
Trombone. That makes sense. Forgot to tell you about your lifelines, but that's all right. You didn't need one. That's good. So you got 3 lifelines, Richard. You can poll the audience, do a 50-50 split, or you have 30 seconds to Google. That's if you get stuck. Make sure you use your lifeline. All right, next question for Richard. In a typical symphony orchestra, what instrument is played by more musicians than any other? The cello, violin, trumpet, or harp? In a typical symphony orchestra, which instrument is played by more musicians? Cello, violin. Any lifelines needed? No?
No, that's
right.
what it is.
Lock it in. That's what it is. Richard is correct. Well done. All right, we're getting down to business quickly. A person who works full-time and gets paid bi-weekly should receive how many paychecks in 1 year? 12, 24, 52, or 26?
26.
All right. Let's lock it in. 26. That is correct. Well done, Richard. Doing very well. No lifelines used. By definition, a Mexican dish served con queso comes with what? Cheese, corn, sauce, or beans?
It comes with cheese.
Cheese. It probably comes with everything, but it definitely comes with cheese. Queso is cheese. Well done, Richard. What state are you in, Richard?
Wisconsin.
So not too much queso and frijoles up there?
It's America. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. All right.
It's in my refrigerator.
In your refrigerator right now. There you go. Going over the fence in the back. No, we won't say that. A Spanish speaker in the US who is celebrating El Día de Acción de Gracias is celebrating what holiday? Independence Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas, or New Year's Day? El Día de Acción de Gracias is what holiday?
I'm going with B, Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day. Oh, the Gracias has to give that away. That is correct. Well done, Richard. You're at the $1,000 safe zone. $1,000 in funny money could be coming your way. Conditions apply. Check will be in the mail. Continuing on, a new way to teach kids to ride balance bikes are bicycles that are missing what part? Handlebars, pedals, brakes, or inner tubes? Balance bikes.
Teach kids to ride balance bikes are bicycles that are missing one. Balance bikes. Wow.
We've hit a stumbling block.
That is an unusual question.
Well, they're not your regular bikes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. With pedals.
All right, we're going to lock in pedals without using a lifeline. Let's take a look. Pretty risky. Pedals is correct. Well done, Richard.
Oh.
Yeah, and so the benefit of these, you can have little 2-year-olds and they can zip around balancing on their bike. I should have got those for my kids.
Well, I have 6 kids, and I should have, we didn't have this tool when they were coming up.
No, they had to do it the old way, which is just jump on the bike.
Road rash.
Crash.
Road rash.
Yes. Crucial for maintaining balance, the vestibular apparatus is located where in the human body? pancreas, spinal column, brainstem, or inner ear?
Inner ear, D.
Locking in inner ear. Too easy for Richard. Well done. You're at the $4,000 mark without even using a lifeline. Astigmatism is a medical condition that can often be corrected by which of these surgeries? Tommy John, LASIK, gastric bypass, or skin grafting? Astigmatism.
LASIK.
LASIK, locking in LASIK. LASIK is correct. Well done, Richard Walsh. Too easy. He's going to go all the way without a lifeline. In a pinch, which of these pantry staples can be used to put out a kitchen fire? Vodka, olive oil, vanilla essence, or baking soda?
Baking soda, D.
They are a little bit easier. I've got to be honest with you, Richard.
Well, I knew that before you put them up, just so you, for the record.
All right.
For that before you.
It's a delicate balance. Sometimes people say it's too hard. Better to be too easy.
He just looks dumb. He just looks dumb.
Yeah. Hell, you're doing very well. No, you're doing well. A substance made of rubber that conducts electricity very poorly is called a what? Insulator, conductor, resistor, or semiconductor?
Insulator.
Insulator, locking it in. Well done. $32,000 without even breaking a sweat or using a lifeline. Very well done indeed. A traditional food for the Japanese New Year, mochi, is a cake primarily made of what ingredient? Wheat, barley, rice, or corn? Is it a trick question?
Are we supposed to go stereotype here? What are we?
I know. You know, is it all made out of rice? Or is it made out of something more cake-like? Mochi, a Japanese New Year's cake. Is it made from wheat, barley, rice, or corn?
Yeah, that's a... How do I get help? I'm not big on asking for help. So.
Well, you can do a 50-50 split, or you can poll the audience, or you can Google it. You have 30 seconds to Google it. What would you like to do, Richard?
Let's do the 50-50 split.
50-50 split.
Make it hard on myself.
All right, to me, this doesn't help. We've got wheat and rice left, which are probably...
I'm just going to go with wheat.
Let's lock in wheat. Unfortunately, rice was correct. See, Richard was trying not to use stereotypes there, and it came back to bite him on the butt.
See what the world has done to me? The world has destroyed me.
That's right. So the rule in this, folks, is that stereotypes are always correct. No, just kidding. All right, Richard, over to you now. So tell us a little bit about your story. And you were in the military, a former Marine, is that correct?
Correct.
Well, you're still a Marine, really, aren't you?
That's right. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yes, correct. And tell us a bit about the book, Escaping the Owner Prison. What's that about, and why did you write it?
Escape the Owner Prison is the contractor's new way to scale, regain control, and fast-track growth while loving life. What that is a combination of my story and business, right? So I had a very successful business for almost 20 years, and then it was unsuccessful overnight in 08, 09. And it came crashing down, and I kind of lost everything. And it was a very unusual thing. 6 small children under 4 years old at the time, and wife and a home, and all that went away. So that was a little trying. But the reason, once I got done with that, of course, you're like, well, now what do you do? I've been doing that for 20 years. I started connecting the dots, putting things together, like what actually went wrong. And there was a lot. There's a lot of dots. Okay. But I figured those out, started again, another business, started making this happen, putting it together, understanding the things that actually need to be done in a business. You can't just push them off to the left of the desk and let them pile up. That'll come back to bite you in a pretty big way. So again, I gained new success, started making that happen. And I said, well, maybe it's time to write a book and I'll talk about this because what I realized, Julian, was the majority of business owners, and I work with a lot of them now, right, as a coach and everything else, they start a business, they get working hard, they're good hard workers, right? They got an idea, a system, whatever they're doing. But then at like the 2 year mark, they keep repeating the first 2 years. So they can be in business 10 years and they've done the first 2 years 5 times. And they never really able to scale, they grow, they got all the problems that I had. They're making money, right? And they're doing that kind of stuff, but they never get free from their business. If they don't open the door in the morning, business doesn't happen. If they don't lock it up at night, it doesn't get locked up, right? So they're kind of trapped on that hamster wheel. So that's where I was. Super successful, do amazing things, but I had no time for anything else. So family. So there I am with 6 small children under 4. And I'm thinking like, well, if I continue this path, this is right after everything crashed, kind of at the same time. I said, my children are going to grow up and all they're going to know is business comes first above everything else because that's how I operated. And that's not a good contribution to society. Okay, so my thing was like, I'm not going to do that. So again, I restructured. So with Escape the Owner Prison, what I do is I write about the whole journey, but how to do that in your business, how to escape that prison where you serve the business instead of the business serving you. So
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's the things that help the growth in the beginning are also some of the things that stop you from being able to take a 10,000-foot view of everything and pull yourself out of it. What are some of the things that people need to do differently in the beginning, in the early years, that's going to allow them and make it easier for them to free themselves up?
I'm going to say, and people are going to think this is odd, I'm going to say first thing, exit strategy. First thing you need to do is know how you're getting out. What's the end? What's the end game? Where are you going? Is it 5 years, 10 years? Is it 10 million, 100 million? What are you doing? Because you can't just go at a business with no roadmap, nowhere to go. What are you working? Because one thing, Julian, the exit strategy does, a complete exit strategy, it's a business filter. It's one of the greatest ones there is. Because as an entrepreneur, you're going to get a lot of temptations and opportunities are going to get thrown your way, especially if you're doing pretty good in your business. Someone's going to offer you this opportunity or this investment. And what you're going to say is, well, let me run that through my exit strategy. Does that get me closer to my exit strategy or does it get me further away? If it's further away, I say no. If it can get me closer, I can say yes. So I think that's one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make is they don't have that endpoint. And next, 15 years have gone by and they don't have a clue. They can't sell their business because they didn't build it to sell, right? And even if you're not going to sell, you want to build it to sell. And there's a lot of reasons for that we can get into, but I think that's one of the critical things is that exit strategy in the beginning.
Yeah, interesting. And one of the other things you talk about is, I guess, the temptation in the beginning to win business, via being competitive on price. You advise against that, Richard?
Yes. That's what they call the race to the bottom. Okay. If you want to compete against Walmart, great, have fun. Good luck to you. I don't even like to walk in that store. But that low price mindset, whether it's to win early business or whatever, is only going to crush your business because you might make a little bit of money, but you're never going to make a lot of money. You're always going to be stuck paycheck to paycheck, just like you're an employee somewhere, month to month. And if you have people, you'll barely be making payroll. It's nothing but misery. That's a life of misery.
And do you find that if you do that, you end up dealing with the worst people who give you the most hassle, and then when you flip it around, it's you have wonderful people that pay you the most? It's weird.
That is it. It is. It's all about value, Julian. Bring value. Be great at what you do, and just stack the value for people. And they will love you, and they will tell people to work for you. And I do with the business I coach now. I mean, they're working a third of the less, but making 40% more. It's amazing.
Right. And another thing you talk about is, making referrals a part of your business. What are some of the ways that people do that, and why should they do it?
So it depends on the business, right? There's a number of different ways, but first and foremost, referrals are like, how do you get them? Well, I did a good job. Well,
All right, we've lost Richard, have we? We've lost him. All right. Well, not sure where he's got to. But I'm going to wrap things up. That's just the way things go sometimes with live streaming. Thanks. Oh, he's back.
sometimes if it's something that let's take carpet cleaning. Let's say you're a service business doing carpet cleaning. Like you need a lot of work, right? So you get a good customer and you say, hey, I've got this great thing called 10 to win. It's a referral card and I have a gift at each level. You refer one person, I give this prize, right? I give out a dinner for two at wherever. And it goes all the way up to like, here's a laptop. If you get me 10 referrals, again, depending on the quantity, maybe it's a weekend in Vegas, whatever is appropriate for the dollar amount that's being spent. Like in my contracting business, jobs are 10, 20,000, 30,000. So I got 10 referrals. They could be 100,000 plus. That's worth sending someone to Vegas for, right? So I look at it that way, and they pick the number, the prize that they want. So, there's a cool Mac, a MacBook for $6. Great. And they reach out to them first.
All right. I'm going to wrap things up. Looks like we've got a few connection issues. Thanks for listening and watching.
You're
Everyone.